Kia ora, I'm Erin J. Doyle. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, the moving chaos continues. Look, there's even an absence of bookshelf. Getting rid of the bookshelves. Kind of more of a drama than I expected. Like I listened. Anyway, none of that has anything to do with this video, except that in the process of sorting through my stuff and doing the massive clear out and making my background look really shitty, I found notebooks, because I'm a writer. My life is in notebooks. The problem is that I found a lot of notebooks, and every time I found one I was like, oh, this is a writing notebook, I'll just put it to the side, and I found another one, like, I'll put it to the side, and now I have this whole bit of them, and I have no idea what's in any of them. I'm sure some of them are blank. I know I did a bit of a clear out of notebooks a few years ago, so hopefully they're all either blank because I haven't used them, or have actually useful stuff in them. Like, there shouldn't be ones with nothing in them, or I should say used, so not nothing, but like just garbage, like addresses or to-do lists or anything like that. Why did I just list addresses as garbage? That makes me sound like the worst kind of hermit. Anyway, so I want to go through these and make some very, very tough decisions about what I keep and what I get rid of, because I should probably just get rid of them all. Like, if they're blank, I should just get rid of them. And if they've got really precious information, then I think what I should actually do is type that information up so I have a digital copy of it and I don't have to take this to England or worry about storing it. So what I'm going to do is go through all of these and make those really hard decisions. So the reason I thought I'd make a video out of this is because I think, I don't know, maybe it'd be interesting and maybe this will help me actually commit to doing it, because this box has been sitting here for like 2 weeks. So mostly this is a get the job done video, but maybe there'll be interesting things or something to learn along the way. So my battery died and I had to put a new one in. Anyway, so on to the task at hand. So notebook number 1 only has a couple of little pages in it, and this is a mixture of vague concepts for research I would like to do one day in the future, nothing relevant to my actual current employer. So none of this is like confidential or work related. It's just like, oh, this is an interesting question I'd like to look into one day if I was ever allowed. So that's fine. I think I've actually already recorded that information in a different journal, and then there's just got a couple of pages of stuff relevant to my non-fiction book. Like one of these pages is titled NaNoWriMo. So I'm hoping these ideas have already been typed up, but I might do a quick double check before I actually throw this in the recycling bin. So that's going to go in the keep pile for now. Alright, then we have, okay, random lists of numbers, like tracking of JPEGs. This information is already typed up, so that's fine. And then very, very complex diagrams of plans and patterns for a thing I was making. The thing is made. I think that can go away now. Oh yes, like very, very high quality. I could probably put these on Etsy for sure. I think I can probably get rid of those. Oh, what's at the back? Reminders on how to do correlation testing. Always a struggle. It's all statistics is like I'm gonna have to relearn it every single time I start to do it. I hate it so much. But it's very cool to get a result. But no, this is just reminding me what different things are. So I think this can be thrown in the recycling. Next up. Okay, so this one's titled For Very Loud Truck. The front of this has a book title on it, so obviously this is notes for the specific project. Yeah, there's quite a bit. Oh no! So one of the things I don't like about keeping a writing journal is that I end up in a time where I have the journal but I can't sit down and write at my computer. I'll just start to write the actual prose, but then they're written, so I don't keep thinking about them and improving them, and then I go and sit down at my computer and they aren't on my computer and I don't understand why, because I know I've written them down. And I have to try and find the journal where I physically wrote it, and then I'm like, oh god, I can't read my own writing, and it's and unfortunately that's what I've done. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. A lot of this is also like things that I want to ask, because this book is like a historical creative non-fiction based on my family, who, I mean, we're kind of nobodies now, but 100 years ago we were important at a very local scale. So like, that makes it sound much more glorious than it was. Extremely isolated, very small community, and we owned like the hotel. So, you know, it just meant that we were the people at the centre of a lot of the happenings in the community. Yes, there's some stuff here, which is quite a lot. This is pages and pages. I feel like I should keep this, possibly even in its current form. I really don't want to keep saying that though. Uh-oh. Okay, next we have a little notebook frighteningly labelled Pain. I was going to the physio to rehab an injury, and I was having issues with pain being really inconsistent in intensity, and if it was like an ache or a stabbing or what have you, and it felt like it was moving around a lot. So she was like, keep a diary of all the times that you feel pain and where, etc. But I've already pulled out all the pages, so now it's just a blank notebook. So that can go in the recycling pile. Actually, do I put it in a giveaway pile? No, because it's still a bit huckery from having pages torn out. Okay. Then we've got one. This is one of my notebooks from university, Introduction to Genetics. And I've carried it this long because I thought that I could refer back to it for like reminders, because the explanations in it were really clear and had all diagrams and stuff. But obviously at some point I decided that I wasn't referring back to it and that was a waste of time and blah blah blah, and I had taken all the pages that were useful out. I wish I had scanned them, I know I didn't. So now it's just a blank notebook in the pile. Alright, next up we have a book that I actually picked up in a gift shop across the street from Buckingham Palace. Not the front obviously, but like the side where you come in and out of the Royal Mews, there's a gift shop. And okay, so this is like assorted writing advice that I've written down from watching YouTube videos by AuthorTubers before I joined AuthorTube. I've even referenced where I got these from. It's like 33 ways to write stronger characters, how to plot a romance novel. That has 2 bullet points. I clearly wasn't that interested. Does your first page have these things? Some of these are not YouTubers. I thought they all were, but actually some of these are from websites. So this feels like it's a useful reference, but like, when was the last time I referred to it? Some of this is also a little bit specific, like there's one here on writing deaf characters. That's useful information I don't want to get rid of. Oh, and then there's pretty sure, yeah, I've got notes that I took from the Sanderson lectures that were posted in 2020. But I mean, those are still online. This stuff's all very look-upable. I feel like I still want this because this is very practical craft information from multiple people. Maybe I'm gonna keep that. Okay, I feel like I'm just really nervous that the keep pile is gonna end up really big. Okay, and this one. Blank, but for a packing list for my upcoming trip. I think that can be recycled. Next we have a still in its plastic packaging, still sealed watercolour book. That was a gift from my sister and it was too nice to use. So I have for several years just had this sitting near my desk waiting for the day that I felt that I could desecrate its clean paper with my crappy art. I would like to say I should take this with me and actually use it. Like, get over that. Don't use the nice notebook thing, because like, it's wasted like this just as much as it would be wasted if I ruined it with my art. So I think I'm going to put this in the tentative taking pile if there is room in my suitcase. Another gift from the same sister, also completely blank. Oh, except for the message from her. Yeah, blank pages, the cute bird on it. And again, oh, it's too good to use. And again, maybe I take this with me and actually use it. This one would be for writing though, because the paper's not like for watercolor, but it's not lined. Okay, we're gonna go tentative packing it pile for if there turns out to be room. Next up we have a notebook which has been primarily used actually for keeping track of YouTube ideas and stuff, but occasionally has drifted into other topics. So like the notes for my last video are in here, but there's also notes that I quickly scribbled down whilst at a virtual pre-orientation day thing that the university I'm going to ran. So yeah, this is like video ideas and actually a lot of video ideas, none of which I have done. So many unticked boxes. Yeah, so it's kind of, I think this was meant to be the book for keeping track of writing expenses and to-do lists and preparing to do things kind of long term. But I think what I'm probably going to do is just take these couple of get ready day pages out and put those in the keeping pile, and then I think the rest, of all the stuff that's YouTube related is now actually in a spreadsheet, so I think this can go. I think it was just like a really useful book to use for notes that I wanted to have while I was filming because it's quite hard, so it didn't like flop or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna recycle that one. Alright, next up we have, oh I know what this is. We have a beautiful composition book, another gift. And this one has a whole bunch of notes on marketing considerations for writers. Again, taken from various sources on the internet. Probably didn't need to write it down, to be honest. Yeah. Like, things to take to a book signing. Why every author needs a Goodreads account. How to format a book in Word. And that's just that bit, and then the rest is blank. I feel like this and the other one with writing advice really should have just gone into the same notebook, and now I don't know what to do with two partially used notebooks. Okay, it's going to go into that pile that I haven't decided what to do with really, but we'll probably keep. Okay, next up we have a pad of paper with three or four pages of ideas. So the pad of paper can go into the, not recycle, but like donation pile. There's a table for giving away free stuff you don't want anymore in my building, so that book is going to go along with some like pens and stuff that I'll just chuck on that table when I go. And these few pages, I'm going to double check that I haven't already got this information down before I throw those out. Okay, another notebook with 2 pages of notes relating to applying for a job that I didn't get, and then some random maths I don't know what it's about, so those pages can go in the recycling bin, and this notebook probably actually can be recycled as well. Alright. Blank. Blankety blank. Just double check it is in fact blank. I didn't like put something dodgy or identifying halfway through it before I put it on the the donation table. This one's the same deal. I pulled a couple of pages out of the front of it, but I think it's still enough notebook there to be good to use, so that can go in the random free stuff pile. This one, doesn't it look familiar? Yes, I bought 2 of them. I actually bought 3 and gifted one. Okay, so this has become notes on a poem that I've been working on. I haven't talked to you guys about that poem. Oh, actually turns out it's only a few pages. So this is a big project poem. So I'm going to put this into the check that I've got it saved in a digital form pile. Oh, and a letter from the bank. Probably need to keep that. But where? Oh, confusing pile. Okay. This is more ideas for YouTube videos. Some of which I've posted. Plans for NaNoWriMo. Notes that I took at a writers' festival. Don't really think I need to keep those. Oh yeah, additional notes for another book. Randomly, why do I have so many notebooks that have just random maths in them? Like, I don't know what that's for. I haven't titled the page, I have no idea. Okay, but some of this is story idea related, so I'll put that in the double check pile. Right. A pros and cons list comparing 2 flats, neither of which I ever moved into, and the rest is blank. So we'll recycle that page. And maybe this notebook is still usable. Oh wait, no. Like, why? put a censorship sticker over the swear word on the cover if the sticker can't be peeled off? Like, why even bother selling something that has swear words on it? Ridiculous. Right, this one, completely blank. A couple of very, very bad sketches of tattoos I would like but do not have. I think we can just recycle those pages. And the rest is fine. An envelope from Redbubble containing a singular sticker that I don't know what I'm going to do with, but I want to keep because maybe I'll put it on the back of my laptop or something, just so, I don't know, I fit in with the young people. Isn't that what we do with stickers these days? Okay, another notebook, oddly enough. Okay. This appears to be a large amount of text, but essentially I think stuff that I thought about and noticed whilst I was on a ship travelling between Vanuatu and New Caledonia. I mean, okay. Notes on a book I haven't written, a book I won't write. Ideas for YouTube videos. Apparently I write down a lot of ideas and like there are 42 ideas. I really don't think I have filmed any of them. Yeah, there's a lot of potential stuff in here. But again, when I say a lot, what I mean is like this bit. All of this is untouched virgin paper. So again, I'll see if there's anything worth keeping in these pages, and if so, type them up. A random piece of card with a discount code on it, we can chuck that. Again, very, very complex, highly detailed, extremely valuable designs and measurements relevant to cardigans. I could 100% totally use that. Just post it as it is on Etsy, make a fortune. Recycle. What do I own? That's a Samsung. Another user information-y thing. This is my to-do list from, where does this start? Psych 206, so my second year of university. This is 14 years old. But it actually covers several years now that I look at it, because some of this is from when I was doing my masters, but it is just, yeah, super pointless to keep. One hilarious quote from a relative, but otherwise, yeah, I think that can go. I think that can all be recycled. And more little manuals for headphones. We're almost there, we're almost there. Right, so I briefly had this grand idea that I was going to make a series of reviewing movies about writers, and I actually watched a whole bunch and I made a whole bunch of notes on them, And that's what this is. So I did Howl, which I did post, The Wife, which I never posted, and I recommend that movie. Ruby Sparks, never posted it. Highly well reviewed by others. I thought it was garbage. Absolutely hated it. So I have several notes of all the things about it that suck. Paterson, again, rave reviews. I hated it. Mary Shelley, which I thought was really good. And then that's it. And part of a menu for Christmas lunch. I think that can be all recycled. I assume that I'm never going to decide that I want to go back to that idea. So I'm just going to abandon it. Next book is this one. And it contains a list of pros and cons for the different books that I think I could potentially work on. So the video, not the last one, but the one before, where I was trying to pick which idea to go through, that is not based on this list. This list pre-existed and wasn't referred to at all and contains things that I didn't mention in that video. For example, in relation to the isekai, which I actually have decided to work on, this list has a con of, hey, it might actually be hard to sell because I don't know how popular isekai actually is. And then for one of the stories where I was like, no, I'm not ready to write it, the one that I suggested, like it felt like it wanted to be really cliched. This one, I've actually got more pros listed here than I mentioned in that video. The rest of this is more ideas for that non-fiction book and more random little bits and pieces for the family historical book, which I think is creative non-fiction probably. A couple of notes on another book. Which I don't think I've discussed with you in any way at any time. And then again, the rest of the book is completely blank. So again, we'll check that one to make sure all the notes are kept before I recycle the book. This one has some notes on how to use R, which is a open source programming language that a lot of biologists use for statistical analysis. And I went to a workshop on how to use it, and I was taking physical notes, and then I abandoned this and started just making my notes like in the script that I was working on in the workshop. So I probably actually don't need this at all. And that's it at the front, and then at the back, more notes on the non-fiction book, and also a few notes hammering out some details on a story. I'm not sure if I've discussed it with you, but it's a post-apocalyptic kind of. No, I guess it is post-apocalyptic. Yeah, it's an apocalypse story. And then I have a few points on a children's book that I want to do. I have a couple of ideas for, I guess it would be like a little series of children's picture books with wholesome little monsters, basically. And I have notes on the first of those ideas here. It's a story about a ghost. I will also keep that. More notes on the isekai story. Yeah, okay, so this is like keeping track of a whole bunch of ideas, but I think most of this I've probably actually already recorded because these are very old notes. So I think, even though I didn't refer back to these while I made my digital notes, I think probably everything in here is accounted for, but we'll double check. So that goes in the double check pile. And then, okay, so I know what these last two books are, and it's unfortunate but also funny. So with both of these books, this is the original, and then at some point I started using this one for the purpose of this one, so now I have to actually combine these. But maybe I just burn them because 20 years ago, I guess, I realised that every time I move house or rearrange or do anything, I would find scraps of paper, receipts, napkins, anything you could write on, with little bits of writing, like ideas for stories or fragments of conversations or just words that I thought sounded interesting and maybe I could do something with, just scattered all through my home, like in behind furniture, under sofa cushions, under the bed, like everywhere. Like tucked in between books on my bookshelf. It's just like my life was a scattering of lost fragments of stories. And so I started writing them down. And I think in this one, actually, I've both written them down, and I've written them down if I had this book to hand at the time they popped into my head, and if they didn't and I had to write on a scrap piece of paper, I've actually just taped the little bit of paper in here. So this one has a little bit of a scrapbook vibe, except that it's not aesthetic in any context. So the reason I'm like, oh, maybe I should just burn these is because they are really random. Like, reading through this makes me think maybe I shouldn't keep a writing journal, and when those ideas come I should just let them go, not record them, even though I have been religiously recording these ideas for forever. Some of this I think is okay, but most of it is just hundreds and hundreds of random little things that I have written down, and I don't know that they're worth keeping. And I guess the hesitation there is maybe I could do something with these. These aren't story ideas, some of them are, but the ones that are story ideas I've harvested and done something with. Perhaps I could use these to write a poem. I do know poets, and some of them much more successful than I, who I have watched them randomly string meaningless words together and write them down in a poem and carried forward very confidently, and I guess it was published, I don't know, I don't go through their poetry with a fine tooth comb going, oh yes, I remember the time that you pulled that out of your ass. I don't know what this was for. So I could potentially like use these as prompts or something, but they're A, so random, and B, so numerous that just seems like a ridiculous undertaking that would be both time consuming and probably fruitless in the end. Like, I don't see these leading to great works of art or publication in any way. Like, they're super random. So, but they're also like, I wrote them down for a reason. Like, some of them, they're just vaguely amusing, and I think part of the thing that makes them amusing is the fact that I wrote them down in the first place. Like, why did I think this was important? So yeah, I don't know what I should do with them. Actually, what I could do is actually just use these to make a video and just like, you know, the 200 reasons why I've decided to stop keeping a writing book, and then just read the 200 ridiculous bullet points out of here. I could do that. And yeah, this one's the same. Yeah, like some of these are literally just a couple of words strung together. Okay, randomly a poem about a blueberry muffin. But mostly garbage. Okay, we've got several pages here are from my vampire epic, a scene that I probably won't use because I was like, oh, maybe not. Descriptions of assorted dogs I know, not their appearance, other factors. And in some cases where I know them from. Like Chip from work, who is the happiest chihuahua I have ever met. That's it. Why did I find it necessary to write that down? I have no idea. So I have these two notebooks. They're nonsense. Like, these are not valuable. I should just recycle them and let the words go, but I'm like, it's like precious treasure. And years worth. Like, I was reading through this one a little while ago, and because like I forget that it exists, and then I pick it up, I'm like, oh yeah, and I start reading it periodically. This contains notes spanning 15, I guess, years, maybe more, and you can kind of see like a progression. Like it starts off with stuff that has a vaguely I'm going to church feel. Like there are a couple about Jesus, and then Jesus drops off, and then I can tell when I read it, oh yeah, that's the time that I was like living with that girl who was really, really dirty, and I make a few comments, not about her, but you can kind of, there's a flavour to them that I recognise. I was living with a person I found unpleasant, is what was affecting my thought processes, and it's apparent on the page. And then there's several where I'm like, okay, yeah, I know who I was thinking about when I wrote that, even though it's not about them, kind of thing. So I find this interesting to read through. It's kind of like a chronicle of like, I don't know, mental illness maybe. But yeah, I don't know what to do with these. I should combine them. I could take the pages out of here and shove them in here, so at least I only have one. It would be pretty funny to just record them. I could do that, and then if I decide that the footage isn't useful, then you don't have to see it. But I could just record it for my own amusement, and then later if I decide that I want to use it, I've got it. And then I could recycle the paper, and I don't have the objects to worry about, but like the contents would be protected. And then promptly the video file would become corrupted and I'd be filled with sorrow. But yeah, okay, well, no decision made on that one, I guess. So now I'm surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different piles of notebooks plus these two. I'll put those in that pile. So 7 piles of books and paper to either keep, recycle, double check that I've got the contents of protected, or give away in the case of the ones that are in good condition. Why do I have that many piles if I only have that many things to do with them? That doesn't make any sense. Damn. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about those last 2 journals. Like, would you be interested in a video which is just like a reading of the complete and utter unhinged nonsense spanning decades of my life? And yeah, that's it for today. I'm now going to go and shred a whole lot of notebooks for recycling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!